And he looks at her and says, hey, darling, I can remember when you could stop a flower.
I agree with every word he said in the speech with respect to trade in Asia and getting in there and helping write the rules instead of China writing the rules. The president's in the middle of negotiating a trade agreement with Asian nations, representing 40% of global GDP. This means more jobs for America. This means more exports for us. This is something we have to get on top of, and I agree with him on that.
Oh, my gosh, you were right. Paul was nice.
He was adorable, as always. Well, no, I think he's an open-minded person, and he still sticks to his conservative ideas.
You guys have this special chemistry.
No, we don't. No, we don't. I don't think he...
That was Congressman Paul Ryan yesterday on Morning Joe in a rare moment of agreement with the president on the issue of free trade. And with us now, look who...
Yes, we have from Capitol Hill, Republican Congressman Noem of South Dakota. And here on set, the Vice President for Global Government and Corporate Affairs at Caterpillar, Catherine Carroll. And we should mention that Caterpillar is a sponsor of our sustainability series. Great to have you here.
Great to have you guys. Congresswoman, let's begin with you. Paul Ryan said there are a few areas where Republicans and Democrats can agree on free trade, possibly on infrastructure. Let's be positive for a moment here. Opportunities.
Well, I think we do have some real opportunities on trade coming up in this next session. We're currently working on the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, and that's being negotiated with 11 Asian countries. Also, what Congress will have to do pretty soon is address Trade Promotion Authority, which is giving the administration the authority to move ahead on those negotiations. But, you know, infrastructure is always a priority, and we've got funding issues that we've got to come up with a solution with here in the next several months as well.
I was going to say, Congresswoman, I was just talking about how I have always been a conservative/libertarian. But even I am beginning to understand that our infrastructure is getting older. We need to figure out a better way to fund it. And most Republicans on the Hill believe that now, too, right? That we really are going to have to figure out a better way forward on infrastructure.
Yeah, we need a longer-term plan. We need to fund it so that we can plan these big projects that need to be completed here in our country. And also, we recognize it's one of the major responsibilities of the federal government is to keep that infrastructure in place so that we can have commerce happen across our country. So it's not just our roads, it's also our rails, it's our pipelines. Keeping things up to date is very important.
I thought it absolutely fascinating, and you know that people are starting to notice. Remember we got off the plane in L.A. a couple of years ago, Mika, and I said, blank doesn't work. And I can't tell you what the blank was.
He was so mad.
But the infrastructure, every step of the way, from getting to the airport to walking through the airport to getting on trains, nothing worked. And when you see in that NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, Catherine, that the number 4 issue that Americans care about is funding infrastructure, it's starting to happen, and Americans are starting to see it. You told me an incredible thing, though, about our ports. Tell everybody what you told me off there.
Well, Caterpillar relies on our transportation system. We're an end user, and we have heavy equipment that we need to export around the world. Over 50% of Caterpillar equipment made in the United States leaves the United States for other nations as part of our exports. Right. And we need ports that are capable of handling heavy machinery. 12 billion pounds of engines, parts, machines has to leave our ports. And oftentimes our ports can't handle this kind of equipment. And as we testified before Congress last year, we have to use Canada to export our equipment.
That's incredible.
Unbelievable.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We need to build these ports. So
where do you go? Vancouver?
Yeah, we have several different.
Instead of Long Beach.
Instead of Long Beach. Or even we have turbines, which Caterpillar makes turbines. And if you've ever seen turbines, they look like the bottom of a rocket ship.
That's a horrific indictment of what we're not doing here.
And we truck our turbines to Houston, Texas. Here we are in San Diego where we manufacture them, and we need to move them to Texas on trucks. So it is a problem. 70% of Americans realize it's a problem, and it's something that we actually share the president's optimism in getting Republicans and Democrats together.
You know, it is this TPP, without getting wonky on trade deals.
Sounds like you're about to get wonky.
You're getting really wonky.
Who's down with TPP? You know me.
Okay.
Congresswoman, let's talk about this for a second, because you got the Republicans and the president in a rare alignment. The Democrats mostly coming out because labor's afraid it's going to steal jobs. Communication Workers of America, they're against it. They say this was negotiated in secret. Nobody knows the details. And I'll call the TPP in a rough way a NAFTA that includes parts of Asia, Chile, and Peru. Is this something that we need to be afraid of and is negative for U.S. jobs?
Well, we still have some opportunities to give congressional input into this, and as we move Trade Promotion Authority through Congress, we'll have the chance to lay out some parameters that they will have to follow as these negotiations fall into place. You know, we need to remember, too, that as soon as the administration completes their negotiations, this agreement comes back to us for an up or down vote. So Congress has a lot of say in what the final agreement looks like, but we have to recognize that the population growth is not happening in America. It's happening a lot in Asia, and we have a huge market over there that we want to be a part of, supplying their needs, their food, their supplies, their technology. We have some great opportunities in front of us with this agreement.
Catherine, you agree?
Absolutely. In fact, I'd just like to add a few points. 1 out of every 4 manufacturing jobs is supported by exports, and we need these exports. Caterpillar exports about $84 billion in products over the last 5 years, and we want to see those exports grow. For every $1 billion of exports, it creates 5,000 new jobs, manufacturing jobs in the United States. And these jobs are 13 to 18% higher paid jobs. So you want these higher wage jobs. We need to grow exports, and it helps American companies and the suppliers of American companies. So we have over 14,000 U.S. suppliers that benefit from trade as well.
All right. First of all, Catherine Carroll, it's great to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having Caterpillar.
Brian Sullivan, thank you.
Welcome.
Kristi Noem, thank you very, very much.
You.
Great to have you on the show.